Is finding your dream career feeling impossible right now? You're not alone. Welcome to Career Blueprint, the podcast that helps you figure out your next career move. We explore the trends in tech shaking up the job market, giving you the unfiltered advice you need, whether you're starting out, changing direction, or guiding someone else. Let's figure out what's next for you together. This is Career Blueprint. If you're looking for a job right now, or you just want to keep the one you have, you should know employers are starting to expect more from their employees with regard to AI. In 2023, just a couple years ago, it was cutting edge if you knew how to use ChatGPT. But today, employers expect you to know a lot more. And if you don't keep adding to your AI skill set, you're going to get left behind. And finding and keeping a job is going to get harder. Now, don't panic. A lot of people, most people, aren't using AI all that seriously yet. Gallup recently released a survey on how people are using AI at work, and the results really weren't that surprising. 46% of people are using AI occasionally, but only 10% are using it every day. So that tells us that a lot of people are just playing around with AI, and they haven't gotten serious about using AI tools to do their work, which means you have a chance to jump to the front of the line. So today, we're going to talk about the 5 AI skills everybody needs to have in 2026. The first AI skill we all need in 2026 is basic AI literacy. And by that, I mean we need to understand what tasks AI systems are good at doing so that we know when we should use an AI tool to get our work done faster. And we need to understand when we can and can't trust AI's results. So first, what is AI really good at? Today's AI is really good at recognizing patterns in data at scale. And this is regardless as to whether that data is words or numbers or images or even audio. So this means today's AI is really good at reviewing thousands of pages of documents all at once, or analyzing hundreds of Excel spreadsheets full of financial calculations, or watching dozens of videos on the internet. AI can look at all of these things far faster than a human can. And when AI is reviewing this content, it can quickly identify trends, anomalies, and even relationships within those words or numbers or images. It can pick up on things that humans might not be able to see with their eyes, just because when we look at so much content, our eyes and our minds just start to blur. Now, AI's pattern recognition abilities go beyond just finding trends and anomalies in data and words. It's also how AI writes text, which is something else today's AI is pretty good at. When you ask people how they use ChatGPT or other AI tools right now, chances are most people will say they're using it to write something, whether it's an email, a report, a paper, or a presentation. But it's important to understand how AI writes because it leads us to the next part of AI literacy, which is when you can and can't trust AI's results. So when you ask AI to write an email for you or write a paper or a report, at a basic level, AI will write that text for you by using pattern recognition and statistical probabilities to predict which words or phrases come after each other. That's not the way humans write. Think about the last thing you wrote other than a quick text. Maybe it was a report or a long email. You started with a concept of what you wanted to say, and then you started writing words that fit that concept. And then you iterated over and over again until you had a decent final product. AI doesn't work that way. AI doesn't have a big picture plan in their head of what to write like a human does. It's pattern matching words and phrases using statistics. And when you understand how AI writes versus how humans write, you can start to see why AI can sometimes write stuff that's illogical or just plain wrong. AI large language models prioritize coherent, confident-sounding response based on patterns in their training data over accuracy. And that's why we all need to know the second part of AI literacy, which is understanding when you can and can't trust AI's results. We all need to be able to critically evaluate every answer that we get from AI, and we need to know when it might be wrong. A couple of quick techniques to spot and prevent AI inaccuracies and hallucinations. First, watch for when AI is confident, because AI is always confident. But watch when it's confident and it doesn't have evidence to back up what it's telling you. If AI is giving you specific facts or statistics or quotes, ask where it got the information. What are its sources? You can just type right into the text prompt, how confident are you that your answer is correct? It's kind of fun to do. Surprisingly, many times, AI will just tell you when it's made something up. You can ask AI by typing in the text prompt, how sure are you about your response and why? And when you need to make sure something is really accurate, independently check that fact that AI is giving you using a different source, whether it's the internet or another AI chatbot. I regularly switch between Claude, ChatGPT, and Perplexity and the internet, just trying to make sure that what I'm saying and writing is based in fact. Second, pay attention to logic gaps in an AI response. Does the AI answer actually address the question you asked? Does the answer contradict itself? Is the answer vague? Sometimes hallucinations show up as smooth language that's just covering very thin reasoning. So in 2026, we all need to understand how AI works, what tasks it's really good at, and when you can trust it and when you can't. The second AI skill we all need in 2026 is prompt engineering. Now, don't spiral out about the fancy wording. All prompt engineering means is giving AI clear instructions. That's it. But a lot of us don't actually give clear instructions when we're typing in the text prompt, or maybe even know how to. We type half-completed thoughts with misspellings and words missing, and then we're surprised when AI gives us back a response that's just junk. It's important to remember that the quality of the output you receive from AI is directly connected to the quality of your input. AI is not a mind reader. It doesn't know what your boss or your professor or your customer wants. It doesn't know your audience. It doesn't know if you wanted to look at a particular place for information. You have to provide that instruction. Good text prompts usually include a clear task, something with an action verb like summarize or rewrite, or extract or outline, compare. A good prompt also includes context for your request. Things like, who is your audience? Why are you doing this task? What's your role? Good context also includes any constraints on the answer, things like length, tone, or format. And you probably also want to tell AI if there are specific places you want it to look for information. A lot of us think AI just searches the entire internet every time we ask a question, and that's not what happens. Most systems are primarily working from their training data and whatever context you've given them. They're not always doing a fresh, full web search every time. So in 2026, we need to stop being so sloppy with our text prompts and try to get more out of our interactions with AI. Prompt engineering is really about just clarity of thinking before you type anything. You have to ask yourself, what am I actually trying to accomplish? What format do I need? Who's my audience? And when you answer those questions clearly, you're ready to ask AI for help. And in 2026, the people who can clearly define problems and communicate constraints are going to far outperform those who just type in quick, lazy prompts and just hope for some AI magic to happen. Our third essential skill for 2026 is being able to pick the right AI tool for the task you're performing. So right now, most people just use ChatGPT for everything, and they haven't really explored what else is out there. And many people who've been using ChatGPT for a while think, it's okay. It's just a fancy Google search. And they don't understand what all the fuss is about. And that's because people are asking ChatGPT to do things it's not designed to do. And they're not exploring the hundreds of AI-enabled software tools that are out there. So our third skill for 2026 is exploring the wide array of AI-enabled software tools that are out there and learning at least a couple of tools that can help us with some of our day-to-day tasks. After you experiment a bit, you'll quickly find your favorites, which some people call their AI stack. A simple way to start is just find 3 AI-enabled software tools and learn how to use them together. For example, I regularly give presentations to different audiences, so I need help updating my core slides because every audience needs something slightly different. Sometimes I'm talking to high school students or college students or graduate school students or young adults or older adults. Nobody wants a canned speech, so I have to tailor my slides for my audience. So my current AI stack, I have a general purpose AI chatbot to help me draft and rewrite text. I started with ChatGPT, but I wanted to experiment with its competitors, so I tried out Gemini and Claude, and now I use Claude and ChatGPT when I need to write something. It's really good for brainstorming. And then because I talk about AI and jobs a lot, I needed a research tool that was good at summarizing and citing sources. I tried out a bunch, but Perplexity, SciSpace, and Scholarcy have been my favorites so far. And finally, I needed a content creation tool that helps me create slides and graphics, and occasionally short videos. Now, I've tried out a lot of these. This is a very busy space where there's a lot of options out there, and most of the options are not impressive. But I recently came across a product that I'm kind of excited about. I think the industry's catching up, and I'm really enjoying Uli right now. So think about some tasks you do on a regular basis and explore the AI-enabled tools that are out there. Try to find just three that you can use on a regular basis. And remember, the first time you try any new software tool, it's going to be a lumpy process. You're learning something new. And the results you'll probably get the first few times may seem underwhelming. And when that happens, it's really easy to just slip back into doing things the way you always have. But try to push through and keep experimenting. The technology is changing and improving fast. And if the tool options today aren't great for what you need them to do, chances are you're going to have different options next time you look. So talking about your AI stack and how to get AI tools to function together nicely transitions us to the fourth AI skill we all need in 2026, which is knowing how to work with AI agents. AI agents are the next big thing. If you want to know more about AI agents, I just did a deep dive into them in another episode. But the key thing you need to know is that AI agents are different from simply asking ChatGPT a question and getting an answer back. An AI agent can take action. It can follow multiple step instructions. It can access and use different software tools. For example, it can search data on your computer or your emails or in presentations or even an external company database. It can complete multiple step tasks and it self-adjust as it's going to try to make its answers as accurate as possible. Working with an AI agent feels less like using a search engine and more like working with a digital assistant. Now, there was a lot of hype about AI agents last year because the amount of money many companies were investing in AI agents in 2025. And now, in 2026, we're starting to see the results of those investments. The first places you'll see AI agents pop up is in customer service and in IT help desks. And that makes sense. Those are both jobs where companies have already been experimenting with chatbots for years. But the real story is how AI agents are being deployed in many, many other areas of companies. For example, HR and recruiting. Workday is a popular HR and finance software platform that a lot of companies use, and they have recently rolled out AI agents for recruiting job candidates. So companies that use Workday, and there are a lot of them, can have an AI agent reviewing resumes, selecting which candidates get interviewed, and even interviewing the candidates. Scary, right? Who wants to be interviewed by artificial intelligence for a job? It's happening. Another area where AI agents are starting to appear is in corporate finance and fraud detection. For example, MasterCard is starting to use AI agents to continuously monitor transactions real time. The agents look for potentially fraudulent patterns between a person's spending history, location, preferred merchants. AI agents aren't just monitoring transactions. They're also determining when a transaction is potentially fraudulent and deciding what steps to take, like refusing to accept a charge. This is a real shift from AI just answering a question to AI taking actions. So if agents are coming, we all need to understand how to work with them. Working with AI agents means thinking like a project manager. Your value as an employee shifts from doing every task yourself to knowing how to design and supervise AI workflow and knowing when you can trust AI results and when you can't. It's a different way of thinking about your job and of working. We all need to understand and embrace working with these computer coworkers because in 2026, being productive at work is no longer about what you can just do alone. It's also about how well you can direct an AI system to extend your capacity while still applying human judgment at every stage. That's what employers need now. And that takes us to our final and perhaps most important essential skill that we all need in 2026, and that's AI safety. We all need to be thinking about what happens to the information we type into a text prompt, especially if we're using confidential information, whether it's our own, another person's, or a company's. We need to be asking, where is that information going? What AI large language model underlies the work we're doing? Is it a closed source large language model or an open source model? Who owns it? Will the model keep the data we're inputting or delete it? We all need to be asking more questions about where that data is going and what happens to it once we're done with the task. To use AI safely at work, we need to think about first, privacy and confidentiality. We particularly need to know which AI tools are approved for use at our company and what can be shared with AI and what can't. 2, we need to think about accuracy and harm and understanding that a plausible sounding but wrong answer from AI can do real damage to another person or to the company. And we need to be careful that we aren't over-relying on AI. It's not an all-knowing oracle. And we have to resist the temptation to let AI think for us. As the technology moves more and more into our daily lives, AI safety is no longer just the responsibility of the engineers developing the technology. It's all of our responsibility. To close, this is the year we all need to dive into using AI in our daily life. If you're waiting for a final version of AI to arrive, you're going to be waiting a very long time. And if all of this just seems overwhelming, just try to commit to learn a little bit every day. Set aside a block of time, maybe an hour a week, where you experiment with different applications and you periodically scan your own work and ask yourself, is there something I have to do every day that AI could do faster or maybe even better? Right now, the tsunami of changes that AI will bring to work are still on the horizon for most of us. So we have time to get ready. Use that time to commit to continuous learning and being curious. Employers don't expect you to know everything, but they do expect you to be curious and open to learning. Thank you for joining me today, and let me know, are there other AI skills that you think we need to learn in 2026? Other things you're worried about? Drop me a comment, and I look forward to speaking with you next time when we talk about how technology is changing how we live and work.